Jake and Zoe loved to look at the stars. Every night they would lie on the grass and stare up at the twinkling lights. They would imagine all sorts of wonderful things up there. One night, they saw something amazing. A floating island. It shimmered in the moonlight. It was like something out of a dream. Jake and Zoe couldn't believe their eyes. "Wow!" gasped Jake. He pointed up at the sky. "Look, it's so pretty," whispered Zoe. She had never seen anything like it. The island was a beautiful sight. It floated silently above their town. It glowed with a soft, warm light. There were waterfalls cascading down its sides. Lush green trees and colorful flowers covered its surface. It was like a piece of heaven had fallen to earth. Jake and Zoe knew they had to get a closer look. They ran to Zoe's house as fast as they could. They had to tell someone about this magical discovery. Zoe's father was a brilliant inventor. He had built many amazing things. His greatest invention was a hot air balloon. It was bright red and shaped like a giant apple. Zoe and Jake loved to go on rides in it. They knew he could help them reach the floating island. "Dad! Dad!" Zoe burst into the house, out of breath. Jake followed close behind. He was just as excited. "We saw something amazing." Zoe's father listened patiently as they described the floating island. He smiled, his eyes twinkling with excitement. He loved an adventure. He knew this was something special. He agreed to take them to the island in his hot air balloon. They climbed into the basket. Zoe's father lit the burner. The balloon rose slowly into the night sky. Higher and higher they went until the houses below looked like tiny toys. The wind whistled past their ears as they soared towards the floating island. The island seemed to get bigger and more beautiful as they got closer. Soon they were surrounded by fluffy white clouds. The air was cool and fresh. The balloon landed softly on a bed of soft green grass. Jake and Zoe jumped out. They couldn't wait to explore. The island was even more amazing up close. They saw sparkling rivers and trees laden with strange and wonderful fruit and the flowers. They were the most unusual colors and shapes. Some even shimmered and sparkled. As they wandered through this magical place, they met the cloud dwellers. These were friendly, whimsical creatures with wings like butterflies. They lived on the floating island and took care of it. The cloud dwellers welcomed Jake and Zoe. They shared their delicious fruit and told them all about the island. "This island is so cool," exclaimed Jake. He was having the best time. "It's like a dream come true," agreed Zoe, her eyes wide with wonder. The cloud dwellers smiled. They loved sharing their home with others. But then one of the cloud dwellers looked sad. He explained that the island was dying. It was sinking lower and lower every day. Soon it would disappear completely. Jake and Zoe were shocked. They had to help save the island. But how? The cloud dwellers explained that the island was losing its magic. They needed to find a special kind of stardust to restore it. This stardust was very rare. It only appeared on the night of the blue moon, which was that very night. "We'll help you find the stardust," Zoe promised. She was determined to save the island. Jake and Zoe, along with the cloud dwellers, searched the island. They looked high and low. Time was running out. The island was sinking faster now. Just when all hope seemed lost, Jake spotted something. A tiny, glowing blue jar hidden amongst the roots of a giant, sparkling tree. It was filled with the magical, shimmering stardust. They quickly took the stardust to the center of the island. As the blue moon shone its brightest, they sprinkled the stardust into the air. The island pulsed with a sudden burst of light. It began to rise. They had saved the island and the cloud dwellers. The children were hailed as heroes. They learned that even the smallest person can make a big difference. They also learned that friendship and teamwork can overcome any obstacle. They would never forget their magical adventure on the floating island.